The first scenario you're doing is the younger adult. Hi, Tori. My name is Maggie. I'm going to be your nurse today. Do you mind telling me a little bit about why you're here?
I'm here for a follow-up appointment because I broke my arm and my jaw in a car wreck, and I need to see a doctor so I can start working again.
Oh, where do you work?
I work for the county.
Awesome. It looks like you're healing up really well. Do you mind if we talk a little bit about the survey you completed in the lobby?
Sure.
So, what kind of alcohol do you drink?
Well, I drink liquor, beer, and wine, but usually beer.
And how often would you say that you drink 4 or more drinks at one sitting?
Only when it's necessary.
What do you mean by only when it's necessary?
I guess when I'm stressed or overwhelmed with work or my husband.
So you drink in response to stress. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel relaxed.
Do you consume alcohol to relax and de-stress?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Okay. I'd like to talk about the survey you filled out. I know this is a little uncomfortable for you, but I appreciate your honesty and would like to help you. Is that all right?
Yeah, I wrote on my survey that sometimes I can't stop drinking, and that was concerning to realize about myself, and sometimes I fail to complete tasks because of my drinking.
Oh, wow. So I see that there are some negative consequences of alcohol consumption. How has this affected you in your personal or professional life?
Sometimes I don't finish my work, and my boss is a nice guy, but I don't know how much longer he's going to let me off the hook.
Right, okay. Do you see any other negative consequences from your drinking?
Well, I have injured myself before, and I don't really remember how because I was blacked out from my drinking.
Wow, that must be really scary to remember that, or not be able to remember that. Is this something you would like to prevent from occurring again?
Yeah, it makes me upset, and I don't want to be unsafe and not remember what happened to me. It also worries my husband a lot.
So you're bothered by your blackout, and it's concerning for you.
Yeah, my husband is concerned for me when he knows about it, but most of the time I don't really tell him how much I've drank.
So do you hide your drinking from your husband?
Yeah, I know he'd be concerned for me, and I feel guilty for overdoing it.
So you feel guilty for your drinking, which is why you choose to hide it from your husband.
Yeah, and I know that's not right, and I'd like to change it.
Well, I'd like to help you stop abusing alcohol. You have already identified your negative consequences of your drinking, such as your blackouts and the guilt that you feel.
Yeah, and I know it's not good for me physically either.
You are right. Alcohol can weaken the muscles of your heart and can cause blood clots, which can lead to heart attacks or strokes. It's also very harmful for your liver.
I know, and I'm healthy besides my alcohol use, and I don't want to end up having a heart attack or liver failure because I can't control myself.
I think it's very good that you understand both the physical and mental consequences of alcohol use. Have you considered cutting down on your drinking?
Yeah, I have. I know a lot of people that have just drink socially, and I'd like to go back to that behavior like I used to.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not at all, 10 being I'm going to do this right away, how willing are you to cut down on your drinking?
Probably a 7.
Wow, a 7. That means you're fairly confident in your ability to cut back drinking. What makes you say a 7 rather than a 5 or a 6?
Well, I'm pretty determined, and when I set a goal, I usually don't stop until I reach it. I think that I can have enough self-control to really try to cut back. I used to drink socially, and it had far better outcomes than what I do now.
Well, it seems to me that you're pretty motivated and have great skills to achieve your goal. I'd like to help you develop a plan to help you cut back on your drinking. What are some other coping methods you think that could help you when you're stressed out?
Well, when I'm feeling stressed, I know I could walk my dog outside or go for a run like I used to instead of just staying inside and drinking. I could also ask my husband if he could try to cut down so that it would be less of a temptation.
These sound like great ideas. It's important for you to share your concerns with your husband. Is this something you would like to do?
Yeah, I think I would like to talk to him.
So you feel like you have a confidence level of 7 out of 10 that you can stop drinking and that you can exercise and go outside as a way to handle your stress instead of drinking, right?
Yeah, I think I'd be happier and have a better relationship with my husband if I could do those things.
I think that you will be successful with these changes. Would you be interested in any community resources that you could use for support while you decrease your drinking?
Yeah, I think that maybe a group of people could help me stick to my goal.
That's great. I would be glad to arrange for you to receive a lot of these resources. Many people in support groups and counseling find counseling to be very helpful. I have set up a meeting with a social worker, and I'm happy to explain all of the resources, who will be happy to explain all the resources. I would like to make another appointment to discuss your progress in a month. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Well, I thank you for being honest with me, and I will see you in a month. This next scenario we're doing is the older adult. Hi, Tori. My name is Maggie. I'm going to be your nurse today. Do you mind telling me a little bit about why you're here?
Yeah, I broke my wrist this weekend while playing golf.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you play golf often?
I used to, but recently I've lost interest in it, and I really don't have energy to do much of anything. I used to enjoy gardening too, but not anymore.
How have you been coping with this?
Well, I'll be honest. I've been drinking a lot more recently.
Okay, well, do you mind if we talk about your alcohol use and the survey you filled out in the lobby?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'd like to review the results of your survey. I see that you answered yes to consuming alcoholic beverages and reported that you drink more than 4 drinks on the weekends.
Yeah, I enjoy a drink in the evening, and I tend to drink a little more during the weekends.
Now, you've reported that there are times where you have started drinking and you are unable to stop. How often does this happen?
Well, I answered weekly on the survey because usually it happens 1 or 2 weekend days.
Okay. Now, when this happens, are you usually around your family?
No, I'm usually alone. I feel guilty about my drinking, and I don't really want my husband to think less of me.
Why do you think your husband would be upset with you?
He hasn't really commented on my drinking much before, so I'm not really sure, but I think he'd be upset that I was lying to him.
Has drinking affected any of your other relationships?
Well, yeah, my grandkids, I don't see them as much as I used to, and I used to spend all weekend with them, and now I really only do that twice a month. I just don't have the energy to keep up with them, and I really have less to say when my daughter brings them to my house.
That must be really hard. Is your relationship with your grandkids something that's important to you?
Yeah, it used to be, it is one of the most important things to me, and spending time with them used to be one of my favorite things to do. I would look forward to it all week.
Well, it sounds like your drinking contributes to your lack of energy and ability to spend time with your grandkids.
Yeah, I've been more detached ever since I started drinking more.
Drinking alcohol can interfere with your regular sleeping patterns and causes greater stress on the heart and liver. This can increase the feelings of fatigue and make it hard to participate in certain activities.
Yeah, I don't sleep well most days, and it really does make me feel drained. My hearing is also getting worse, which only makes me want to be alone more often.
How does your hearing loss affect your daily life?
Well, it's getting a lot harder to follow the conversation, so sometimes it's just easier to be alone.
That must be really hard. Does your family know about your hearing loss?
Probably a little, but I don't think they know how bad it's gotten.
That must feel lonely. Is this something you would like to seek medical treatment for? Many people have hearing aids as they age, and they really enhance their ability to interact with others.
Yeah, I've looked into it briefly, but I haven't really spoken with anybody before. I'd like to speak to my doctor about it today.
I can arrange that for you. So from what I hear, it sounds like you drink when you feel irritated, and it tends to isolate you even more.
Yeah, and I would like to change that. At my age, sorry, this is upsetting. I don't think I need to be drinking at all. I'd like to stop drinking alcohol altogether.
It's very positive that you want to make a change. On a scale from 0 to 10, can you describe your motivation and change? 0 being not at all, and 10 being the most motivation.
Probably a 6.
A 6 is a great rating. What makes you choose a 6 rather than, say, a 3 or a 4?
Well, I value my family more than my drinking, and I don't want to continue to distance myself from them because of my drinking.
It sounds like your family could serve as a great support system. Is that true?
Yeah, I think if I'm honest with them, it will help me get on track and stop drinking.
I definitely agree that being honest with your family is the first step. Would you be interested in attending any groups that can help you achieve sobriety?
Yeah. I would like to find out more about the local AA programs in my town and see if I'd feel comfortable in that setting.
Awesome. Well, I will get the social worker in here to come talk to you about your options and maybe give you some more resources. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Okay, this is the older adult scenario. Hi, Maggie. I'm Tori, and I'm going to be your nurse today. Can you tell me why you're here?
Well, I broke my wrist this weekend while I was playing golf.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you play golf often?
I used to be, but recently I don't have much energy or motivation to do it. I used to also really enjoy gardening, but I haven't really liked to do anything.
How have you been coping with these changes?
Well, I've been drinking pretty often.
I see. Well, before I look at your wrist, would you mind talking a bit about your alcohol use and the survey you filled out in the lobby?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the survey that you filled out states, on the survey, you stated that you drink more than 4 drinks on the weekends. Is that accurate?
Yes, I enjoy a drink most evenings and drink a little bit more on the weekends.
Okay. I also see that you have written that you sometimes are not able to stop drinking after starting. How often would you say that this occurs?
Mainly on the weekends.
Okay. So when you're unable to stop drinking, is this when you're alone or are you usually with friends or family?
I'm usually alone, mainly because I feel guilty about it and I don't want my husband to think less of me.
That must be hard to feel that way. Do you think that your husband would be upset with you?
Yeah, I think he might be upset about and that I've been lying to him. He has never commented because I do a pretty good job at hiding it.
Okay, so how has your drinking by yourself affected your relationships with people other than your husband?
Well, I don't see a lot of my family as much. I used to spend a lot of time with my grandkids, but now I just don't have the energy to hang out with them anymore. I used to see them almost every weekend, and now I've only seen them about twice in the past 3 months.
Wow, that must be really hard for you. I gather that spending time with your grandkids is something that's very important to you.
Yeah, it used to be one of my favorite things to do.
That must be hard to lose that. It sounds like you feel like your drinking contributes to those changes.
Yeah, I've definitely been more tired and detached since I've been drinking.
Okay, so you associate your tired feeling and lack of energy to your drinking?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that could be accurate. Drinking alcohol can interfere with your regular sleeping patterns and causes greater stress on the heart and liver. This can increase feelings of fatigue, and sometimes it makes it harder to participate in certain activities.
Yeah, I definitely haven't been sleeping well. Another thing that's been bothering me recently is that my hearing has gotten a lot worse.
How does this hearing loss affect you?
Well, it makes me feel isolated, and I don't want to bother my family by not being able to hear, so I tend to stay out of the conversation.
That must be hard to feel isolated. Does your family know that you are struggling with your hearing?
Probably a little. I just don't think they know how bad it's gotten.
That must feel lonely. Is that something you would like to seek medical treatment for? Many people use hearing aids as they age, and they can really enhance your ability to interact with others.
Yeah, it is something that I've briefly looked into, but I'd like to talk to my doctor about it.
Okay, I can definitely let him know about that. So from what we've talked about, it sounds like you drink when you're feeling isolated, and it tends to isolate you even more.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so is that something that you hope to change?
Yeah, I definitely think I want to change my drinking.
Okay. Have you thought about cutting down, or have you thought about stopping your drinking altogether?
Well, I'd like to stop it altogether, but I think right now it would be best to just cut it down.
Okay, that's a very positive statement to make. So from a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you don't think you can achieve your goal, or 10, you can definitely achieve your goal, can you describe your motivation to stop your drinking?
I would say probably a 6.
Okay, and by stop your drinking, I actually mean cut down, excuse me. Well, a 6 is a really positive rating. Why have you rated yourself a 6 as opposed to, say, a 3 or a 4?
Well, with talking to you today, I've realized how much this drinking affects my life, and I would like to get back to being able to interact with my family.
It sounds like your family could serve as a very good support system to help you make these changes.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest with them, that'll help to get me back on track, and I can cut down and maybe even stop my drinking.
I think being honest with your family is one of the best resources you have, and they could really help you out. Have you ever thought about attending a support group?
I've thought about maybe attending some AA programs in the area, and I think I would be pretty comfortable doing that.
Good. Well, I'll have the social worker come and give you a list of resources, and you can ask her any questions and ask me if anything is unclear. And I'll also send in your doctor shortly after so he can talk to you about your wrist and about your hearing.
Sounds great. Thank you.
See you in a month. This is the younger adults. Hi, Maggie. My name is Tori, and I'll be your nurse today. Can you tell me why you're here?
Sure. This is just a follow-up appointment because I crashed my car a few weeks ago and I broke my wrist and my jaw. And I need to get back to work, so I need to see the doctor.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I work for the county.
That's great. So it looks to me like you're healing up well. Your doctor will see you later, but first, do you mind if we talk a bit about the survey concerning your alcohol use you completed?
Sure.
So first, what kind of alcohol do you usually drink?
I drink it all. I drink liquor, beer, and wine, but mostly prefer beer.
Okay, so how often in the past year have you had more than 4 drinks?
I guess only when it's necessary.
Okay, so only when it's necessary. What does that mean to you?
I guess just when I get stressed or overwhelmed with my work or with my husband.
I see. So you usually drink in response to stress.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and how does that make you feel?
It definitely makes me more relaxed.
Okay, so I see. You consume alcohol to relax and to de-stress.
Yep, I guess so.
Okay, so I'd like to look at more of the questions of the survey. I know this is a little uncomfortable for you, but I appreciate your honesty, and I'd like to help you. So when you filled out this survey, was there anything that you found surprising or concerning?
Yeah, I was concerned about that sometimes I can't stop my drinking once I've stopped, and that sometimes I can't complete tasks because of my drinking.
I see. So would you consider these negative consequences to your alcohol consumption?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, and how has this affected your professional or personal life?
Well, sometimes I feel I don't finish my work or give my best work. My boss is a nice guy, but I don't know how long this is going to last.
Okay. Do you see any other negative consequences as a result of your drinking?
Yeah, I know that I've blacked out before, and I've hurt myself, but I don't remember how I did it.
Wow, that must be a scary thing. Is this something you would like to prevent from occurring again?
Yeah, it makes me upset, and I don't want to be unsafe and not remember things. It also worries my husband.
Okay, so your husband knows about your blackouts, and he's concerned for you?
Yeah, he's concerned for me when he knows about it, but most of the time, I just keep it a secret.
Okay, so would you say you usually hide your drinking from your husband?
Yeah, because I know he would be concerned for me, but I feel guilty for overdoing it.
Okay, so you feel guilty about the amount you drink, which is why you figure it's just easier to not tell your husband?
Yeah, but I know that's not right.
Well, I'd like to help you feel better about your decisions and help you to cut down on your drinking or abstain completely. You've already identified some negative mental outcomes of your drinking, such as your blackouts and the guilt that you feel afterwards.
Yeah, but I know it's probably not good physically either.
Okay, that's true. Alcohol can weaken the muscles of your heart and can cause blood clots, which may lead to heart attacks or strokes. And it's also very harmful to your liver. So cutting down on your drinking now would be a very good health decision.
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy right now, but I don't want to bring up any health problems in the future.
I think it's very good that you realize the physical and the mental consequences of alcohol use. Have you ever considered cutting down before?
Yeah, I know a lot of people who just drink socially, and maybe I think that's what I could get back to.
Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not willing at all and 10 being so willing that you're going to instantly complete your goal, how willing are you to cut down on your drinking?
I guess I'd say about a 7.
Wow, a 7 is a pretty confident score. Why would you give yourself a 7 as opposed to a 4 or a 5?
Well, I'm pretty determined when I set a goal, and I have pretty good self-control. I used to drink socially and only have one drink all the time, so I feel like I can get back into that habit.
Those sound like very positive traits you possess that could be very helpful to you in reaching your goal. I'd like to help you develop a plan so that you can decrease your drinking. What are some coping methods you can use instead of drinking?
Maybe I could walk my dog or go for a run, and I think I could probably talk to my husband about stopping to buy beer or having alcohol in the house.
Okay, those sound like very good ideas. It would be good to decrease your stress with exercise, and it would also be good to decrease the temptation. I also think it's good to share your concerns with your husband. Is that something that you'd like to do?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Well, that's very good that you're willing to share this with your husband and that you have a confidence level of a 7 out of 10 that you can cut down on your drinking and develop new coping methods. Are you confident that these coping methods will help you handle your stress?
Yeah, and I think I'll be happier and maybe even have a better relationship with my husband if I make these changes.
I think that if you incorporate these changes, you can work towards being successful with cutting down on your drinking. Would you be interested in any community resources that you can use for support in this change?
I think that would be really helpful.
Okay, well, I'll be glad to arrange for you a list of resources that the social worker will explain to you, and if you have any questions, we'd be happy to help you. I've also set up a meeting with the physician in a month so that we can reevaluate your progress.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Sure. Have a nice day.